In aviation, tradition is important, and Beechcraft is one of the brands that has been able to keep this aspect alive, adopting to modern standards and making their aircraft models attractive to today's customers. This is really important when we are talking about a family of aircraft that made its first flight in 1969, more than 50 years ago. Of course, today's aircraft is not the same as it was in the late 1960s, but it still retains its utilitarian spirit, versatility, and aerodynamics when flying. Today's star of the show is the Baron G58, a twin-piston aircraft derived from the 1961 Baron G55. The G58 was manufactured by Beech Aircraft Corporation in 1969, making its maiden flight that same year and officially entering service in 1970. Since then, it has undergone improvements and upgrades over the years, achieving the perfect balance of horsepower, comfort, quietness, and safety. The new generation of the Baron G58 undoubtedly sets the standard for twin-engine aircraft design. Beechcraft has always been associated with precision craftsmanship in the construction of its aircraft, something that appeals to pilots and passengers in equal measure. In addition, it is capable of flying farther and faster with a higher payload than any other twin-piston aircraft on the market. And that's not all. Thanks to its large access doors, luggage compartments, and modern design to meet practically any type of challenge, the Baron G58 offers tremendous flexibility of use, whether for business, family, or pleasure travel, or even military-type missions. Want to know more? Then don't go anywhere and prepare yourself for what you are about to see. The entire fuselage of the Baron G58 is of conventional semi-monocoque construction, and its wings and empennage are fully cantilevered. Composite materials, specifically high-strength aluminum alloy and steel, were used to manufacture most of the aircraft's structures. In this way, the external structure of the aircraft is divided into three main components: the fuselage, the wing, and the empennage. Its solid design provides structural integrity and guarantees a long lifespan. The shape of the fuselage not only ensures outstanding aerodynamics, but also allows for an optimization of the interior cabin space for greater passenger comfort. For the development of the structure, the engineering team used traditional design methods, which were validated by full-scale fatigue tests. It has generous dimensions, resulting in a wingspan of 37 feet 10 inches, a length of 29 feet 10 inches, and a height of 9 feet 9 inches, measurements that are further highlighted by the distinctive polyurethane paint that decorates the aircraft's exterior appearance. It is equipped with a retractable landing gear that incorporates an electromechanical extension and retraction system. In the tail section, it incorporates an emergency locator transmitter in case the aircraft suffers some kind of accident or mechanical malfunction. The Baron G58 has wide doors that invite passengers to enter the cabin and enjoy one of the best trips that can be experienced in any light twin-engine aircraft. With internal dimensions of 12 feet 7 inches long, 42 inches wide, and 50 inches high, its spacious cab features 6 ergonomic seats made of high-quality, lightweight materials with soft edges that blend seamlessly with the aircraft's interior appearance. The G58's cabin features the fully integrated Garmin 1000 Avionics suite and 2 large-format liquid crystal display (LCD) screens that provide flight data, graphic navigation, and engine performance. For added comfort, it integrates an automatic air conditioning system capable of adapting to any conditions and maintaining a comfortable cabin temperature at all times. Its 137 cubic feet of space can accommodate the pilot and 5 passengers, with enough room for all occupants to have plenty of shoulder and headroom and stretch their legs to feel as if they were sitting on the most comfortable couch in their home. Flying gives you the opportunity to admire landscapes from a privileged point of view. The one-piece wrap-around windshield and the 6 large side windows provide better visibility for passengers and pilots to not miss anything going on around them, even from thousands of feet above the ground. In terms of customization, the G58 offers 4 color paths for the interior: Camel, Chelsea Gray, Raven, and Speedster. Additionally, the seats can be configured in a 4-seat layout, leaving more space for cargo if desired. This aircraft ensures smooth rides and is geared for comfort as well as productivity and entertainment, featuring softly lit cup holders framed by ergonomic tables arranged for work, as well as LED lighting throughout the cabin environment. The ergonomic, reconfigurable seats were redesigned to incorporate an adjustable headrest and lumbar support, plus an armrest for added comfort. Each passenger has a personal media jack ideal for plugging in headphones to listen to music, along with an XM satellite entertainment system. It also incorporates a dual removable cup holder, pen holder, and shallow storage tray, making it perfect for storing a smartphone. The Baron G58 has superior attention to fit, form, ergonomics, and interior finish to make every journey an exciting and pleasurable adventure. As for aircraft access, passengers have excellent entry and exit through a 45-inch by 35-inch double door and a 37-inch by 36-inch one-piece front door. In addition, 2 windows in the middle, which can be opened, provide additional exit routes in the event of an emergency. The Beechcraft Baron G58 doesn't forget about luggage space, so it has plenty of room in the nose to safely store up to 300 pounds of luggage. But if this space is still not enough for you, there is also an aft luggage compartment, which has an LED light. With this, you are guaranteed to have enough room to carry any type of cargo or luggage, allowing for a more relaxed trip knowing that your belongings will be with you wherever you are about to fly. Speaking of power plants, the Baron G58 is powered by 2 Teledyne Continental IO550C engines. The IO550Cs are horizontally opposed, fuel-injected, direct-drive, air-cooled engines. Their design incorporates an inclined valve top for 6-cylinder, 550 cubic inch displacement engines capable of generating about 300 horsepower each. Conveniently, the engines can be started using either the aircraft's battery or external power and are complemented by 2 Macaulay 3-bladed aluminum alloy, variable pitch, and constant speed propellers. Each engine has a hydraulic oil pressure regulator to better control the propeller's RPM. The control levers and controls were strategically placed on the center console to ensure easy operation from the pilot's seat. Its 2 engines, each capable of generating 300 horsepower, give this aircraft a maximum cruise speed of 202 knots at 75% power. Although in optimal conditions it is capable of reaching a maximum speed of 223 knots, the company recommends never reaching this speed as the aircraft's structure may be compromised. It has a maximum range that varies from 1,245 nautical miles to 1,480 nautical miles, depending on the aircraft's load and weight at the time of flight. It has a climb rate of 1,700 feet per minute and a service ceiling of 20,688 feet. To achieve an effective takeoff, it needs a runway distance of 2,345 feet and a landing distance of 2,490 feet. Its total fuel capacity is 194 gallons, and its fuel burn is around 27.1 to 32 gallons per hour. What do you think? The Baron G58 is an aircraft certified for single-pilot operation, so it does not skimp on avionics and has everything needed to make every flight a safe, enjoyable, and worry-free experience for both passengers and pilot, reducing the pilot's stress load when flying the aircraft. It integrates a Garmin G1000 NXI avionics suite, which equips a primary flight display, a multifunction display, a digital altitude heading reference system, and an air data computer to provide altitude and air data information to the system. It also includes a global positioning system sensor, transponder, engine control unit, GWX68 color weather radar, storm scope WX500, distance measuring equipment, traffic advisory system, and a Class B terrain alert and warning system to alert the pilot of potential conflicts with obstacles and terrain. The upgraded aircraft also features a wide area augmentation system, a terrain alert database, a GTX 33ES Mode S transponder, an advanced GDU104X multifunction display, and GRC10 and GRT10 wireless remote control systems. Of course, there is also the GMC 707 autopilot control panel, as well as the Garmin GI 275 electronic standby device. All avionics are focused on maximizing the pilot's safety and awareness of the aircraft and its environment, providing more information such as engine performance, navigation, synthetic vision, traffic, and terrain in an intuitive way. The Baron G58 features an ice and rain protection system and is even certified to fly in icing conditions, something that many other aircraft would not be able to do safely. It is able to achieve this because of automated pneumatic de-icing boots, a standard electrothermal propeller de-icing system, and special stall warning paddles with standard heating, as well as fuel vents. The aircraft also includes a backup alternator and a secondary backup battery capable of providing the electricity required by the engine in the case of a primary battery failure. All this, added to the complete avionics system, makes the Baron G58 a highly reliable aircraft, perfect for flights under almost any condition, including the most adverse ones. Perhaps no other family of aircraft has as many variants as the Baron line, which literally has dozens and dozens of variants and subvariants, with the 55 and 56 series being the short-body versions and the 58 series being the long-body versions. The Baron 55 series was produced between 1961 and 1983 as an economy aircraft mounting 260 horsepower Continental IO-470 engines, seating up to 5 occupants. This series had 5 subvariants, A, B, C, D, and E. Around 3,651 aircraft of the Baron 55 series were produced. The 56 series was launched in 1967 as a pressurized model, faster than its predecessor, equipped with 2 380 horsepower Lycoming TIO 541 E1A4 turbocharged engines. Between 1967 and 1971, a total of 93 Baron 56 series aircraft were built, 82 of the 56 TC model and 11 of the A56 TC. As for the 58 series, this was introduced in 1969, featuring the brand's first long-body models. In addition to the original Baron 58, 4 subvariants were developed, of which the G58 model is the one that has managed to stand over time. There are 3 variants of the Baron G58, the G58 TC, the G58P, and the G58 ISR. The turbocharged Baron G58 TC and the pressurized Baron G58P. These 2 variants were launched in 1976 and were powered by Teledyne Continental TSIO 520 engines of 240 kilowatts each. Both versions ended production in 1985, mainly due to the fact that both the G58 TC and G58P had very limited and restricted space for the pilot and co-pilot, which did not make them very attractive aircraft for potential buyers. The G58 ISR is a special version developed for an agency in the Puerto Rico Police Department and incorporates an FLIR 230 HD electro-optical infrared EO/IR camera, a computer for mission map management, a recorder, a multi-band communications radio system, and a data link for special mission operators. There are many models to choose from, which can be good or bad for the undecided. Fortunately, you won't have to think about it too much because the G58 is the only one still in production these days. Finally, we get to the point you've been waiting for. Let's talk about how much this plane costs. Sorry for making you wait, but believe me, it will be absolutely worth it. The price of the Beechcraft Baron G58 is $1.5 million. And a used Beechcraft Baron G58 is worth about $1 million. The annual budget for the fixed and variable costs of the aircraft, estimated at about 450 flight hours in a year, is approximately $503,000. Giving a near cost per flight hour of almost $500, it is not particularly economical to fly one of these. Now, of course, the Baron G58 is not the only piston aircraft out there, so we will briefly present you with a comparison with one of its very close rivals, the Diamond DA62, an aircraft announced in March 2012 and produced in 2015, a more recent aircraft as you can see. Are you ready for this battle? The DA62 is an Austrian-rooted aircraft that seats up to 5 people in the European version and 7 people in the US version. As far as avionics are concerned, they have practically the same system. In terms of power, the DA62 has two Austro-engine AE330 engines with a power output of 180 horsepower each, so that when talking about speed, it reaches a maximum of 192 knots and a maximum range of 1,283 nautical miles. In both cases, less than what the Baron G58 has to offer. If we can talk about the price, a significant difference can be observed, since the DA62 has a value of $1.8 million. The annual budget for fixed and variable costs, considering 450 flight hours for 12 months, is $374,000. That means that both the total value of the aircraft and the annual costs of the Baron G58 are ostensibly lower in the Diamond DA62. Plus, it is a larger aircraft, so depending on the configuration, the internal space in this one may be a little more comfortable than that of the Baron G58. With all this in mind, it is up to you to decide which you consider to be a better option. Both have important differences and particular attractive features, but ultimately, they are great alternatives to take to the skies, don't you think? Which of the two would you vote for? In the end, it all comes down to what your priorities are and what you want to do with this aircraft. If you want to go fast, then choose the Baron, and if you want to burn less gas, then buy the Diamond, which, by the way, has an impeccable safety record. You may also be interested in a more modern aircraft. It's up to you. The Baron G58 is still tremendously popular among charter pilots because of all the comforts it has in the cockpit, but also because, behind its appearance, the truth is that it is a real flying workhorse that stands out for its versatility and enormous capabilities. Another advantage that users of this aircraft greatly appreciate is the ease of access to the cockpit thanks to its wide double doors, something uncommon in utility aircraft of this style, which is undoubtedly an attractive aspect of this aircraft. The list of good things about this aircraft is pretty long, and you know it. Although it is marketed as an aircraft with a capacity for a pilot and 5 passengers, the truth is that in reality, the Baron G58 is more of a luxurious 4-seater aircraft, capable of accommodating 6 seats if necessary. The club-style seating arrangement places them facing each other for better communication between passengers. One aspect to keep in mind is that, despite the comfort it offers, the Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association, AOPA, warns that the seats may not be suitable for most adults. Another aspect to take into account is that it is an expensive aircraft with a high operating cost. So if you are on a tight budget and you are not willing to spend a lot of money on operating costs, this is definitely not the aircraft for you. All in all, this aircraft achieves the perfect balance of power and reliability and has maintained its essence without changing much since its introduction in the 1960s. It has only been updated in the Avionics suite, systems, and interior redesign. The amazing thing is that it perfectly blends the antique air of its origins with flashes of modernity that will captivate more than one. So, the Beechcraft Baron G58 is an option that offers great flexibility for business flights or pleasure rides. Let's just say that if you have the money to spare and want to include an extravagant and luxury bird to your collection, you know what to do. But the question is, are you ready to take the best flight of your life?